But when you created this, what's the creation process for you? I mean, you decided that this bar,
Yeah.
and you love the idea and the drama. You wanted to do it.
I wanted it to be about a family.
Yeah.
And I
when you
wanted, yeah.
Go ahead.
So I thought about a family, and they own a place together, which means people work and live in the same place. I mean, in other words, you go, you live with people, and then you work with them, and then you can't escape them, which is what family feels like. Family is something you can't escape.
But this
It's a
is
relationship you can't get out
Yeah.
of.
This is not Cheers.
No, no, not at all. Not even close.
I know.
It looks like it if you have the sound off
yeah.
for 2 minutes, and then even with the sound off, you'd be like, "Geez, that's not Cheers at all." It's very, it gets very down. It is funny in moments. It's very surprising and startling in moments. Yeah, so the creative process is like you create the people and the world, and then you see if it writes. If you can sit down and write. And it just flowed. I believed in the people. They felt real to me. So I just wrote. I told their story.
I mean, when you start episode by episode, it just pours out.
Yeah. And some things come out that way, and this one did too. Every episode, I would sit down and I would just be writing, and I put the people in the rooms in my head, and I have them talk to each other, and it's like I'm hearing it, and I'm quickly copying it down, like a stenographer.
Yeah.
Or a court reporter. Is that what a court person is?
Yeah, right. That's
what it feels like. And then when it's over, I stop and I go, "Oh my God, that was crazy." And then I read it and I'm going, "That's pretty good." And then I've got one done.
Okay, but how much editing do you do? I mean, is it pretty much a stream of consciousness when you do it, or do you simply hammer it and like
a few
sculpting,
different things?
Like
okay,
sculpting?
A lot of that happens ahead of time. Like that's when I get an episode written. When I sit down and write it, before I write it, I walk around driving myself crazy thinking about it. I do all the carving up here, and I know what's going to happen. I think about what it means in each interaction and what direction it's going to go, and I think about all that for a long time. It's like being pregnant, and then finally I just regurgitate it onto the page. And after that, maybe right before we shoot, we do a rehearsal for a whole day. We rehearse the show over and over again. And then I'll look at it and go, maybe there's a few things that could change. I usually keep the dialogue all the same. There's an integrity to that, like how you first wrote it, but I might cut and I might add things. But I don't change the little lines inside. I think that feels like tampering.
Your role in this is very much of a guy who listens. He's a listener.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Horace is very quiet, and he doesn't talk much. And part of that is because I wanted to be able to effectively direct the show and do it without.
You didn't want to have many lines?
I didn't want to have a lot of lines. And also, look at the cast. Edie Falco and Steve and Alan and Jessica Lange. These people are all better than me. They're all better actors than me. So,
you're right about that.
You know, yeah, for sure. So I wanted to just give them a platform and just be there as a sounding board.
But you've been doing some acting. Are you surprised? You seem like a natural.
I mean, I hope I am. I know I own a lot of terrible moments on screen that I can't take back, including on this show.
Yeah,
I'm stiff. I'm not really, towards the end of Horace and Pete, the feelings about the show were so real to me. I really felt like Pete was my brother. And so when hard things happened to Pete, I got very upset. And
you feel it because you created.
Oh God, yeah.
See, that's an amazing thing. I mean, you created Horace, and you created Pete, and you created the other characters.
And then I got involved I was in the family.
You were there.
Yeah, when the show, when we shot the last episode, I was I couldn't. It took me a while to recover from it. I never had an experience like that because I didn't have to act. I didn't have to conjure something from my past or figure out how to get there. I was just very upset for real. And all of us, we traded emails, me and Alan and Edie and Steve traded emails saying that we're in withdrawal and that we were upset, that it was hard to walk away from the show. And it was hard how it ended.
Does it have to end?
No, not necessarily, no. But I mean, the season is over. The story that we told is over. It's a 10-part, it's like a 10-act play. That's what Horace and Pete is. It's more like a 10-act play than it is like a series. See, the thing with a series, when you write series television, you have to keep everything intact all the time. You have to keep all the balls in the air. So you can't really have anything big happen or big be said, because then you can't take that back. Every show has to reset. TV has this thing where it kind of shows up your house like a vacuum cleaner salesman, and it makes a mess on the floor, but they got to clean it up before they leave. TV is supposed to leave you the way it found you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that way you'll want to watch it the next week forever. It's a perpetuity thing. But so the idea with this show is to write something where every week it's gonna take a piece out of you. It's gonna leave you a little bit broken. And you'll go like, how the hell did I get to keep doing this? Well, we don't have to keep doing it. We don't have to. I didn't have to make more than 3 if I didn't want to.
What's the level of satisfaction from this? Level of satisfaction from this compared to the other stuff you do? I mean, can you even judge it, weigh it?
No, I
assess it?
can't, because this was so personal, and it felt so real to me, and it was so satisfying.
And a new direction too.
Yeah, brand new thing. That's the thing that's so fun, is to learn a thing you've never done before and then do it really well. I'd never done a show like this. None of us had. Nobody had. I mean, nobody had made a show. It was closer to Saturday Night Live than it was to a sitcom, because we had to throw it together and have it up on the site. We shot it Wednesday and Thursday and had it up on the site Saturday morning. So it was a very quick, and all of a sudden it was in the world.
All the episodes had been written by the time you started shooting.
They've been written, except for we did things about current events, because it was a bar, and I thought people at bars talk about what's going on in the news, so if they could talk about what was actually in the news, that's why we shot it so close to the air date. But the satisfying, nobody had figured out how to do that